There is nothing like the sensation of stepping into cold cat poo with your bare foot.
I had to pour cat litter on an oil stain in my carport.
I hate to say it, but vegan nachos are pretty damn good.
You know what isn't? A falafel sandwich with pineapple chunks. 1 unenthusiastic star.
Have such a good day. Happy day, or whatever day you were listening to this.
Happy day indeed. Happy night.
Happy evening.
Happy afternoon.
Morning. Yes.
Happy twilight or dusk.
Which it sort of is right now behind me.
Exactly, yeah.
See the light.
Anybody who's watching our video version will notice that the sun will go down through the course of the show, which is just part of, listen, it's a trip around the sun.
It really is.
Yeah. This is Have Such a Good Day. This is our podcast, Heather.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at this rig that we're going to show you in like the behind the scenes stuff. It is a hilarious rig.
In fact, I'm going to take a picture now so you can see it.
I spent all afternoon trying to stack the right amount of books and boxes to get the shot. You should see, I wish you guys could see what we go through every day to make a new shot for you in our respective houses. It's pretty amusing. One of these days we're going to get a behind the scenes photographer to just record everything for you. Anyway, kicking us off.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about Have Such a Good Day, the concept.
Yes,
we're trying
that.
We're trying to, what is it? We're trying to find humor and irony.
Humor and irony in everyday adult life, in adulting, if you will. We'll examine cool, funny, and often disturbing things from the internet, from entertainment, and honestly, life in general.
It'd be funny if we could say, well, the entertainment world isn't really disturbing, but it sure is.
Oh, it definitely is.
And we absorb a lot of this, so we're thinking, you know what? Let's open this whole conversation up. Heather and I are here. Glad that you're here as well. We hope that we can help you have a better day than you started with. You can laugh at us or with us.
That's our goal, though.
Both are accepted.
I think it's a cool goal.
I do too.
When it comes to show, definitions,
mantras,
it's pretty good.
Yeah. And I think that as any sane adult will tell you, no matter what you're going through, life is a huge challenge sometimes, and you kind of gotta laugh, or you'll end up sobbing in the closet.
Didn't Forrest Gump say it's like a box of chocolates?
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Which it is. I prefer C's chocolates myself.
Yeah.
I think that's a Bay Area thing.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Anyway, so let us help you have a good day. We're all in this together. This is a fun, community-based project, and boy, are we happy to be here. Episode 3, Heath.
I know. I can't believe it.
I know.
It's nuts.
I know.
It's nuts.
We're
going places, people.
We really are. We really are. So let's start off with I just wanted to mention this. This is not going to be a long thing that I'm going to stay on.
It's an anecdote, if you will.
It's an anecdote, exactly. So I live in a apartment building out in Venice, in LA, and we're way out at the beach, so it's very beachy. Mm-hmm. All my neighbors are surfers, or they've been there for a really long time. There's sand everywhere. It's great. But one of my neighbors is she's a little bit older than me, but not that much. And she has a 21-year-old son, just turned 21. I mean, I've known him. I've been in the apartment building for a couple of years now. So, I mean, I've seen him, to the point where I saw him at a bar and I was like, why are you here? And he's like, I'm 21. I'm like, oh, okay. You were 18 to me for 3 years. And she was like, I'm going out of town. Like, do you mind just looking in on him a couple of times while I'm gone? I'm like, well, how long are you going to be gone? Because we help each other out.
Yeah.
She's definitely like fed my cats, and we're good neighbors.
So she trusts you.
Yeah. But I'm like, well, I mean, if he's having a party and there's girls over, which wouldn't be the first time.
Do you text her? Like, what do you do?
I don't want to be a narc about that
That's
sort
the
of thing. I've already kind of been like, well, that was an interesting party you guys had the next morning. Like, have fun.
Yeah.
I'm intentionally leaving everyone's name out, but it was just sort of a funny thing where I'm like, okay, I'm closer to her age than his age, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. But I'm also like, well, what would I do? Like, what's, like, if you're, like, cutting someone with a knife, I'd be like, hey, this party should stop.
My concern is that, like, you'll end
Otherwise,
up being
I'm
a
like,
tattletale, and then he'll be mad at you, and then, like...
And, like, if you're of age of drinking...
Yeah.
Like what, like am I busting you? Like what am I looking out for here?
Why don't you ask her?
Well, the short answer was I was like happy to. And in my mind I was like if you don't burn the building down, we're good.
That's a huge responsibility, though.
So that was my big.
Like, what if something big happens and then she's like, Sarah, you didn't watch over him like I asked?
Well, you know what? Sometimes you have a little ramen and you get sleepy.
No, that's true. It happens to the best of us.
There's only so much I can do, but I'm very supportive, and I hope nobody has a party and jumps off the balcony.
Well, I have a good anecdote for this week. It's funny.
Okay.
Maybe I'm have such a good day everywhere, like in lights, because like we're doing the show and it's always on my mind because we're doing stuff like every single day. But I very rarely go to spinning because it's just awful. But I did go this week, and my spinning teacher.
Well, hold on. Why is it awful? Because it's too
so
intense
hard.
and
it's
cultish?
so intense. It's just it's
physically intense.
It can be fun because they always play really fun music. It can be very fun, but it takes a lot of energy. And sometimes I just don't really want to just like I want to go for a walk or I want to go for a run at my own pace, but you're not really at your own beat. It's a lot of endurance. And so I kind of dread them. But then once I'm there, it is fun because they, it's very lively. Really cool rap music usually they play.
Yeah. I've enjoyed a spinning class here
once
and there.
a week though is the most I would do it.
Yeah.
But I haven't been doing it lately, but I went after like a few weeks that I haven't been, and it was cool. She goes, they say like motivational things, they try to talk to you about like life and how it's important to breathe and exercise and just meditate and stuff, which is, it's true. And she says, people are always asking, why did that person go crazy? And I'm wondering, how do we all not go crazy? All of the things we go through every day, as humans, it's a wonder that we don't all go nuts. And so I was thinking, that's cool.
This is what the spinning instructor
was
like
to
instilling into like, and now you pedal like the wind.
Yeah, like basically,
with this in your mind.
It's a motivational thing for sure. And the first thing I thought, what better goal to have than to strive for each day to having such a good day. And I thought of our podcast.
You could have screamed back at her and like kind of like taken like control of the room.
I know. I could have been like, listen to our podcast.
Like Soul Cycle or, like these like, they're often like the lights are dim.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's candles. Yeah. And the instructor is sort of
very
on
dramatic.
a pedestal and they're yelling. And I don't know, my experiences have always been like, it's entertaining.
It is very entertaining.
But there have been some times where I'm like, all right, well, let's just cut the crap.
Well, it's funny. I was in a pretty good mood that day and I felt really chill, and I was in the front row. They put me in like number 4. And I was like, I don't really like being right in the front because then she's like looking at you and you're right there. But I was fine. I was like into it. But there's a lot of days where I'm just like, don't look at me, and it's like, it's brutal. But, so I wanted to introduce a fun new thing.
Okay.
I'm switching gears a little bit here.
Sure.
I wanted to test out the waters and see if you guys would be interested in doing a drinking game. I don't know if any of you are really drinking.
Could be alcoholic or not.
It doesn't have to be. It could be kombucha, like smoothies, whatever
it's a liquid challenge.
Liquid challenge. So Sarah is very experienced being a podcaster. She's been doing this for a long time, and it comes, she's very good at it. I'm a little more of a newbie, so like I say like a lot, and I say there's a lot of filler words that I use.
And you're not alone. We all do that.
True.
That's just the way that we talk.
And I'm working on it. I'm going to get better with time. But I have noticed that I do say a lot. That's one of the little fillers that I use. So I'm going to throw this at you guys. Every time I say you guys have to drink. I have to drink. I'm going to drink right now.
Like just open a bottle of wine because it's going to be a lot. So. It's going to be a lot. And I say that with only love.
I apologize in advance if I say a lot in this show. I'm going to try really hard not to. And yeah, so that's that. So have fun with that, and hopefully you enjoy it.
All right, so let's move on to some music news.
Yes.
The headline that I saw on the Fader, which is one of the music blogs that I read regularly, is Billboard's list of 50 highest paid musicians features just 7 women. So of course the headline is women are not represented enough in music. Not surprising. They're not represented enough in lots of things. But I actually thought the more interesting part of the story for me personally was, well, so who are they? Who are the highest paid ones? So I thought, Heather, we'd play another game.
Oh, I love games.
Which I know you're not ready for this, but let's just see if we can do it. So because I don't want to get copyright takedown notices, I'm not going to attempt to sing because I'm a very good singer, and obviously, it'll be flagged immediately. But I'll just say this as spoken word.
Okay.
The number one, and this is for 2018, and this is based on album sales, concert ticket sales, aggregate. Who
highest paid musicians?
Yeah, who are making the most money?
Okay.
This year. Number one, Sunday Bloody Sunday.
U2.
Okay. Number
really, U2?
Yeah.
Still?
They are touring.
Wow.
I know. In fact, they are touring in the Joshua Tree tour.
We could go to that. That's not as hop, skip, and a jump from us.
I'm not sure that it's
they're not in
Joshua Tree.
But they should, because that would be
probably
amazing.
be like the pinnacle of
that would be really cool.
Okay, number two, might be a little bit of a wild card, but I think you'll get this. I have friends in low places.
Ooh, Garth Brooks.
Okay, got it. Okay, this one is, I know you'll know this one. Wherever I may roam.
Ooh, Metallica.
Okay. All right. Number four, we won't keep going on. We'll just do the top five. Number four, Uptown Funk You Up. Uptown Funk You Up.
Oh yeah, Bruno Mars.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm good at this.
All right. And rounding it out at number five, highest paid musician of 2018.
No way.
I'm in love with your body.
Oh yes, I have someone that sings that song.
But
Ed
who?
Sheeran.
Okay. All right.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. You are.
What do
good.
I get for that?
You know what? Actually, just you get just admiration of everyone who's ever met you. But because the headline actually talked about the fact that women are
who are the women?
Underrepresented. We won't keep going, but the first woman on this list, coming in at number 6. Good.
Something about a stick.
It's definitely not a stick. How about this? You and me, we have a bad romance.
Oh yeah, Lady Gaga. Okay. I figured it was her anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know why that took me so long. I was like, what do I say?
It is kind of hard to be put on the spot and come up with a lyric. I mean.
So, yeah. I mean, again, there are a lot more artists on that list.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga coming in at number 6 for 2018, which she had that really good documentary. 5'2", which I thought was really interesting, very raw.
Yeah, definitely.
And
that's your size.
It certainly is. yes. No, Heather, I'm 6'2". Everyone can see that. But yeah, so I like it. That's the world we live in on Billboard music charts.
You know, it's funny. I have a kind of a Billboard story also. Okay. Chance the Rapper, you're familiar with him, right?
Yep. Love him.
So he told the world about this purchase that he just made via one of the songs that he just released. He just released 4 new songs, and this particular track, it's called "I Might Need Security." He said in a lyric that he just bought the Chicagoist website, which is a local news site in Chicago.
Although it's part of a conglomerate, right? There's SFist, LAist, Chicagoist,
I don't know if he. Well, no, the guy who owns all of those, though, he didn't buy the Gothamist. I mean, the Gothamist is no longer.
So they've basically been split up.
Yes, and so he bought the regional. As far as I know, he only bought the Chicagoist.
Okay, all right, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And so I don't know if I should get into the lyrics, but the song, you can look it up on Spotify or wherever you listen to your music. I Might Need Security. It has a funny chorus. I don't know. I probably shouldn't say it because it'll change the status of our episode. But
I think you just don't sing it.
Well, okay.
Oh, you mean because it might be?
Yeah, you guys listen to it and you'll see. But one of the lines
Heather's
he does say in there.
trying not to cuss.
I'm trying not to cuss.
She's being.
I'm trying to be PG here.
She's being demure.
I am. But one of the lines is, he literally says this in his song, "I bought the Chicagoist just to run you, but the bitches out of business." So you guys can listen to it and you can get the whole lyric there. But I think that's kind of an interesting way to, spread some news.
Well, I don't know anybody who ever worked for the Chicagoist, but I do know people who've worked for the LAist and SFist.
Oh yeah, I love those sites actually.
So do I.
Yeah.
I use them constantly, especially for like restaurant openings.
Oh
or
yeah,
just,
totally.
Just kind of someone's in town and what's going on and what's new that I might not know about.
Yeah.
So it might be that Chance has some beef with the Chicagoist.
Oh yeah, definitely. So he essentially he wants Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel to resign for his lack of action on how the city handles police shootings, which is understandable.
Yeah, he wouldn't be the only one to say so.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Chance is trying to do a good thing. I mean, he seems like a good dude. He does a lot of good things for the community. He hosts an open mic nights for the youth in Chicago.
Yeah.
He raised a ton of money to fund like arts and education programs for public schools in Chicago. I mean, he's supporting local journalism for buying the site, which is cool. He says, and I quote, he looks forward to relaunching the site and bringing the people of Chicago an independent media outlet focused on amplifying diverse voices and content. I mean, what better time?
I think that's wonderful.
I think it's pretty cool.
And
he has a great merch line too, by the way.
What you
Chance the Rapper.
I do.
I wanted one and it like sold out. I was kind of
they're hard to get. Shout out to Stephen Dubois who hates those hats.
Really?
He always says, "Nice hat, dummy." Anytime I share a Chance, it's like that's his thing. I will say, Chance the Rapper, forever my friend and yours, because of his verse in Ultralight Beam, which is from Kanye West's Life of Pablo album from a couple of years ago. Possibly one of the greatest verses. Well, definitely one of the greatest verses. Possibly the greatest. Not sure if I'm ready to say that, but got to be up there. So Chance, keep on keeping on. And we're looking forward to reading your deep dish pizza choices that I will be looking for on Chicagoist immediately.
And if you guys haven't seen, one of the reasons why I love Chance the Rapper, not just because of his music, but he was in this short on Vice called Mr. Happy. And it's sort of like I think it's like a 15-minute, 20-minute short. It's sort of a thriller. It's really good. It's really clever. He's a really good actor. Anyway, he's been in a lot of stuff. Like he was on SNL and he was great.
Yeah.
Anyway, love Chance. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into a promo, Sarah. Or no, let's move on. Let's just move on.
You don't call out the promo. It just happens. So I wanted to, because I could not help myself, Heather, because this is so dear to our sort of career hearts, I guess. And that is the fact that DC, as in DC, the
DC Comics.
Yes, conglomerate. DC Universe is DC's new SVOD offering.
I hate that word.
Meaning subscription video on demand.
Yeah.
So Netflix would be an SVOD.
Yep.
Or Hulu or HBO Go or, and the list goes on. Anything that you're paying for, it would be just a not SVOD, just a VOD if it was free, video on demand. But anyway, we're all very familiar with that. It's the cord-cutting life. DC has decided to launch its own. DC Universe is going to be $7.99 per month.
Okay.
So that's a couple dollars under Netflix. You get I think it's like $74.99 if you do an annual subscription. So you save a few dollars a month if you do it that way. But the whole thing is, it's DC folks connecting to DC folks. We will have original content that is yet to be described.
Very interesting.
Plus, obviously a robust library of DC and some of their licensing partners. Warner Brothers is one of them. But this did remind me of when we used to work literally at a company that was doing something very similar.
Oh, yeah.
That had a large media library, and the focus was comic-based fandom content.
Yep.
So it was, and the thing about this, which is I thought was interesting, is like you think like, okay, Wonder Woman. Well, Wonder Woman has already been licensed out to other platforms. So how are these people going to be like, oh, but Sarah will go here to get Wonder Woman, even though she might get it on Netflix or wherever you might find it.
It seems like a little late in the game.
It's a tough sell.
It is a tough sell.
It's a tough sell for a couple of reasons. And I actually talked about this on DTNS recently. So anybody who heard that show, might hear me sounding like a little bit of a parrot. But it's interesting because it's not that cheap. It's not free.
No.
$7.99 per month is what Netflix was until their prices went up very recently.
It's not $1 a month like ours.
And yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. It's highway robbery. But it's that, but it's also a back catalog of stuff that you are going to see other places.
Yeah.
It's not totally exclusive. And without knowing what the original content is, maybe it's a hit, maybe it isn't.
Yeah.
And in such a crowded original content market, I don't really know what PR teams do when they're trying to launch these new original content shows on lockdown networks that people don't know about yet.
I know, I agree. I mean, I think that people are pretty diehard, like either Marvel or DC fans, though.
Would you say you're one more than the other?
I would say probably more Marvel.
Okay.
But I just feel like I think that this could work. I mean, I hate to say it, but people are diehard when it comes to, the world is divided when it comes to comic books. You're probably either one or the other, but I do think that it could have a following. I mean, look at Comic-Con now. I mean, Comic-Con is international.
Yeah.
It is.
In fact, quite a few of our peers were at Comic-Con in San Diego.
I'm usually
recently.
there working, but I didn't this year. I'm kind of glad I didn't, though.
I know.
Conventions are tough. I mean, even if it's content that I'm kind of interested in, just being at a convention is really tough because it's a lot of
hand sanitizer,
a lot of hand sanitizer, a lot of shuffling through really thick crowds.
Around. Yeah, you have a suitcase half the time.
Yeah,
right.
Whew,
yeah.
Man,
And children.
I don't really miss it. Anyway, well, good luck to them.
Yes.
It's a tough job.
And we'd love to know if someone's listening or watching our video version and saying like, I would totally pay for this.
Yeah.
I'd love to know why. Because you probably have a great reason. And if so, it's a good offering for you. And I hope your $8 is well worth it. So if you want to keep up with all of our new episodes, you might be asking, what do I do? Where do I go? Where do I sit? We have links to subscribe to the show, and you can learn more about, I don't know, we're weird, but we like to think we're amusing, smart, and often even wise.
I can be a little ditzy, but it's kind of endearing.
Who isn't, right? Hey, HaveSuchAGoodDay.com is our website. We've fleshed out a lot of the places that you can subscribe. We try to make it really, really easy for you, and you can just go ahead and peruse. The easiest way is to use our Feedburner link, which is a subscribe button under each episode. But again, you can do Apple Podcasts, you can do Stitcher, you can do Google Play, you can do SoundCloud.
I mean, it's
We want it
endless.
to be really easy.
Yeah, whatever place you like the most, use that. We're there. We should be. And if we're not, let us know. hi@havesuchagooday.com.
Which would be a great way to email us.
Yeah,
Sorry.
email
Sorry that I
us.
have a cough all of a sudden. But Heather, that's not the only place we live online, is it?
No, it is very true. We live on Patreon.
That's correct.
Patreon.com/havesuchagooddday. And actually, it's really fun. So I've been posting a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Like it's a little bit of a stories sort of thing that they implemented not too long ago called Lens. So yeah, I don't know. You could check out. I'm trying to do more and more of it. Again, it's just me and Sarah setting up all this stuff. So I'm kind of trying to shoot some things while we're doing a million things pre-show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of fun little tidbits. I don't know. I'll try to get more and more creative. But we want to really give out a special thanks to our patrons because we're really trying to make this show ad-free. And, with your support, we'll be able to keep it that way. And again, find us at patreon.com/havesuchagooddday. And with all of your help, we will all win and we'll all have such a good day, which is really the plan.
That is absolutely the plan. You know what else is the plan? Now, if you go to our Patreon, again, patreon.com/havesuchagooddday, you will see a couple of different things. If you're new to Patreon, this could be worth a slight explainer. On the left-hand side of the page are our goals. Those are monetary goals. those are things we've defined as we really want to do this because we're both freelancers and time and energy and money and scheduling and the whole thing. This is what we need to take the show to the next level. So we have a few of those goals. We also have tiers that are on the right hand side, which allows you to be a patron at a variety of levels, and you get extra perks for slapping us a few more bucks each month, and we appreciate everyone at every level. Even if you can't do $1 per month,
just do $2.50. Check out the $2.50 tier.
Good reverse psychology.
It's pretty interesting.
But yeah, I mean, if you're not ready to be a patron yet, that's cool. You can always listen to the audio version of our podcast for free. We just hope you tell a friend. Leave us a nice review on iTunes or somewhere else. Spread the word. Glad to have you. Special shout out, because I'm mentioning goals, to Harry Blake. Harrison Blake. Oh, we love you so much. So Harry Blake does all the wonderful music. One of his tracks you're actually listening to us.
Pretty much right now.
Behind us right now. Yeah. Harry has done original music. He's a composer, audio engineer, very talented musician. Has done projects for Heather and I separately, and this project as well.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So all of the music you're hearing is Harry's. We would love for him to be our audio engineer.
We really want that. He will take this to the next level for sure.
Part of the team.
Yeah, for sure.
In a perfect world, Harry would just sit right between us.
He's a good-looking guy
and keep us honest.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, you should see the stuff we go through setting up everything every day, and it would be very helpful to have a guy like Harry on our team. He would just, he'd keep us honest.
He's a professional in all of the ways that we are not. We are enthusiastic.
We certainly are.
But we are not professional in all of the ways. So anyway, peruse those goals. Let us know what you think. If there's something there that you'd like to see, we are all ears and eyes. So keep that in mind. Heather, let's get scientific.
You know how I like to get. I like my science. I'm kind of a science nerd.
You're always bringing the science.
Yeah. So this is not news at all. But I had a friend. I'm on a chat thread. And someone, a friend of mine, shout out to Lisa Franzetta, she brought up she's an animal activist. She actually worked for PETA for a long time. She's totally legit. But she brought up the conversation again about the fact that there is quite a bit of beer out there that is filtered with fish bladders. I didn't know this. I don't know, call me uninformed. I don't think I live under a rock. I just don't really remember hearing about this.
I don't know anything about this.
Oh, you don't? Okay, good. Good. So maybe I am informed.
You are bringing knowledge to me. Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was interesting because she's vegan, pretty hardcore, and she wants to make sure that whatever she's eating and wearing is from a good place. Even
ethically
sound.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All of that.
So
I know Lisa too.
You do know Lisa.
She really is. She's the real deal.
She really is.
We are animal lovers. Lisa is an animal lover plus.
Oh, absolutely. This goes far back to the 19th century. This fish bladder material is called isinglass. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Isinglass. It's a very interesting word, but it's been used to make beer look a little bit more appealing, like more clear, because I'm sort of thinking that maybe it would just look a little bit more unfiltered looking, which maybe isn't as exciting. I don't know.
Is it if it's cloudy? Is it not as aesthetically pleasing?
Maybe there's little chunks floating around, or
dude, I drink kombucha.
I know. I don't care either. Only when when a piece of kombucha hangs on my lip, then I'm like, ah.
I mean, I don't like it either, but I'm still gonna drink it.
No, it's true.
Yeah, when people are like kombucha, all that sediment, I'm like, call me when call me when you get to 2018, guys.
So this it's like a collagen. Think of it as like a collagen, and it's created from the dried bladders of fish. So it's a variety of fish too. So it's mostly derived from a cheaper cod, but then some breweries still use a sturgeon. What's interesting too is some of it. I have heard that there's some wine that is filtered with fish bladders too. I just had no idea. So when we post this show, somewhere on the website, I will post, there's a list of beers that are suitable for vegans from the PETA website. So I'll post that somewhere for you guys if you're interested.
All right.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're committed to being a vegan and veganism, and I have many friends who are, and it really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to know if fish bladders are in your beer.
Well, and sometimes I'll be like, in Jell-O, the gelatin is derived from like a horse's hoof, and I'm like, okay, that might be okay, but is it hurting the horse? Because I'm not okay with that. So it would be. It's good to be informed.
I agree. Let's talk about music again, Heather.
All right.
Not to just make it all about music, but it's just...
I like switching it up. Let's do it.
It just happened to be, but we had a lot of content this week that was music related. So I know that you're a Spotify person.
I am.
I'm an Apple Music person. We both pay $10 a month, right?
Yep.
I don't really think, this is not something where I'm like, let's box who has the better subscription service.
No, let's.
Because I actually think that they're all the same.
Yeah.
Apple Music might get an album for like 1 week exclusive. Spotify the same.
Yep.
Spotify has more international customers. Apple Music has gained, and I think actually has surpassed Spotify, at least in number growth in the US and Canada and the UK. Spotify comes from Sweden and was around not only before Apple Music, but again, a lot of big international base. And at this point, it's a real race to who's going to have the most users, because Apple Music has done quite well. Spotify launched a new beta feature, so again, this is beta, that allows artists and record labels to submit unreleased records for playlist consideration. So as a person who's a big fan of, who's your favorite artist right now?
Favorite? Well, I mean, I feel weird saying Kendrick Lamar because he's just everyone's favorite, but he is. He really is.
So Kendrick Lamar has some Spotify exclusive, and this is hypothetical, but because I think he actually would probably go with Apple Music, but and he decides to upload to Spotify some unreleased stuff. Doesn't have anything to do with a record label, right? It's all just kind of that indie thing, which Spotify has already indicated it's interested in doing more and more to kind of extricate itself from the I don't know, the monster clause of the way that music labels have gone this entire time. Because a lot of this stuff, you can tell, even with music subscriptions, which I think is a wonderful thing. I haven't bought an album in a long time, and I don't care to do it again. As long as my internet works, my music will play. But a lot of it still has to do with old school music, copyright issues, and all of that stuff. So, as a Spotify person, is this something that excites you? Are you kind of like, do you feel finger on the pulse enough to really care about getting exclusive stuff before it's like part of some more, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I would say certain artists for sure. Like I would love to be able to listen to something early and get it before other people. Absolutely. I mean, I think sometimes it's funny. I listen to so many podcasts and this is weird, but I sometimes forget that I have my Spotify account, like, cause there's, you have so many apps and there's so many things I want to listen to. And like when I'm in the car, I often listen to podcasts, but like today, actually leaving the West Side, I was listening to Kendrick Lamar on Spotify, but it's funny, I sometimes forget that I have these apps and I'm like, oh man, I haven't listened to music in days. What the hell? It's a weird thing and I miss it. And every time I do, like I listen to a lot of Sirius. And so I listen to a lot of the 80s channels and there's like I don't know, I have a bunch of like electronic stuff. So I do listen to a lot of music in the car, but I think that it would help me maybe pull me back into listening to music even more.
Sure.
Maybe I need it to be a little more on the tip of whatever.
I think what Spotify is going for, and again, I don't use it, but my gut says this whole kind of like leaked track or diss track or all that stuff that kind of gets shared before an official album ever comes out or a mixtape comes out, like this is Spotify's way to try to leverage some of the people that are involved in that, right?
I think it's smart, actually.
Yeah, I do too. I don't know how many people care about that. but I
I
certainly
mean, I think
do.
they have to scramble. All of these, things have to scramble to be at the cutting edge. It's got to be tough. I mean,
It's funny when you mentioned not, listening to a lot of music, especially in the car. It's like I have the same. It's not so much that like I feel like I'm behind on music. If there's an album that somebody tells me is great and I haven't heard it, I'll go out of my way to hear it. I take enough walks and go jogging and that sort of thing. But I'm with you. More and more often, I'm listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
I get a lot out of them.
Yep.
I feel like it's like I'm just gaining wisdom.
Exactly.
Rather than, listening to a song, which is a whole different kind of a high over and over. And that goes for TV too. I'll be at my house and sometimes I just want to like hear the rest of that cool podcast I was listening to because I know there's 25 minutes left from when I got out of my car.
I know, it's funny. I hike at Runyon usually, and I'll do the loop, and I'm like, why wouldn't I want to listen to music? Like people will have their speakers out. They won't listen to their headphones on the trail. Yeah. It's sort of this new thing.
That's a whole other.
I know we should have maybe a bonus conversation about that.
It's the same genre of people who are having a conversation on their phone, but it's on speaker, and you're like,
totally.
Don't. What if they say something?
We need to have a
crazy.
I have so much to say about that actually. So we're gonna do that.
We'll save that for an extra topic for another time.
Yes.
Although we have a different good extra topic for all you $5 a month
for the end of this show.
Yeah, exactly. But for now, let's talk about an acronym I've never heard of.
Yes. So I am surprised you haven't heard of this. It is. I want you to try to guess what this means.
Okay.
JOMO with a J. JOMO.
So it's like FOMO, but what's the J? FOMO is fear of missing out. So, I don't.
The joy of missing out.
Oh, the joy of missing out. Oh, I am all about the JOMO.
I'm super into it. So there was like an article in the New York Times that it was a reporter that kind of had an experience and realized that like they were very busy with work and they were just kind of overwhelmed. And then they realized, you know what? It's okay to miss out. In fact, you can really gain a lot from disconnecting, and opting out, just being okay with being alone or, sitting home on a Friday night. I mean, we're doing our podcast on a Friday night. We're not out at the bars.
We happen to be recording this on a Friday, a little bit ahead of schedule because we both got some travel coming up. But yeah, and this is something that you and I talk about, and we kind of laugh and say like, oh, wasn't it funny, back in the day when if a Friday night came around and it was like 6 p.m. and I didn't have plans, I either felt super left out,
totally,
or I was like hitting up everybody, like, where are we going?
Yeah. Or usually we were at some plans. Like dive bar, like rocking out,
and it's like that's the same person that I used to be. Where like, if you walked into a bar and it was like kind of empty, you'd be like, let's go somewhere like
you get like
cooler.
Nervous or like
do people don't like it here? Is it not cool? Like no one's here. And now I'm like, if something's crowded, I can't be there because it's crowded.
Things have changed. But the whole thing about JOMO too is that it's not about like sharing everything you're doing on social media. Like take a break from social media, disconnect. It's also not seeing what other people are doing on social media, so it doesn't do the inverse and give you FOMO. So you kind of just take a break from social.
There's not the keeping up with the Joneses thing happening.
Exactly. And it's funny, when I read that article, I think it was like maybe approaching a weekend. I think it was maybe last week, but it did make me feel sort of better because I do really enjoy some quiet time with my Kindle, like catch up on my shows. Just like some couch time. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. It's like, I think now that there's an actual silly little acronym for it, maybe people will jump on board.
Oh, I'm all about the JOMO. I would wear a t-shirt that said, JOMO, ask me more. So I could be like, bye, I got to go home. It's Friday. No, but seriously, I on my way here, because we're at your house right now, and, it's a bit of a commute for me. I didn't even remember it was Friday. I was like, oh, there's kind of a lot of afternoon traffic. Oh, it's Friday. Where's everyone going? Because when I'm done here, I'm going home and I'm going to bed.
I know, sounds like ramen first.
Ramen stop. I had ramen last night. I try not to do ramen 2 nights in a row, but I mean, stranger things have happened.
Let me ask you, how many ramens have you had max in 1 week? Like a 7-day? Like what would be the max that you've ever had?
Probably 3.
Wow. What kind of ramen do you get?
It's this place called Jinya.
What kind is it?
Sometimes it's tonkatsu.
Okay.
Sometimes it's shoyu. Those are the two that are my favorites.
Show you.
Is
it legit Japanese ramen?
Oh, it's great.
Like it's all kind of like has the egg.
It's
kind of oily.
If you want it,
and
you
sure.
can, because I usually get delivery. Because that's what I do. I just want it to come to my door. But no, I've got this whole hustle going on, and now I feel horrible about saying this. But the ramen that I get, it's a big bowl of ramen. And it comes like the liquids in one and the, stuff's in the other. And so you kind of mix it up when you're, when it's you, which is actually kind of nice. But because my eyes are bigger than my stomach, when I order ramen, I know that I can't even get through one. But in that moment, my mind tells me, get two.
Oh.
Because I'm so hungry, why wouldn't I want two? Just to make sure. So that's a little bit too expensive because you got your delivery fee and the whole thing.
I remember some things back in San Francisco, some orders that you used to make.
No, it's like if you get me at the wrong time, it's like if you're like, Sarah, you only want one piece of pizza. I'm like, no, I need an extra large pizza.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want to run out of food.
Of course.
Anyway, my hustle is, and it's not really a hustle because it's totally fair to do. I get one order and then I get extra ramen and then extra noodles.
I would so do that. Okay,
and it's like $100 million cheaper than getting just that.
Can you promise me something, Sarah?
Yes. Well, I don't know. I'd love to.
One of these days when we're recording at your house, after I've jumped in the ocean for my $250 patrons,
right.
Can we order that ramen? Because I'd like to try it.
Oh,
I'm serious.
We can actually go there because they have such a cute little patio.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So, speaking of patrons, you guys out there are patrons.
Were we? Were we speaking?
We were.
We were patronizing the ramen place
and my $250 patrons that are coming down the pipe.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that, Heather.
Yeah, so
this is our newest tier.
Yeah, newest tier, $250 a month. I will jump in the ocean, the sea, the Pacific Ocean to be specific.
Right.
This is kind of wild, but we figured, why not do something that is exhilarating that could make my day better and maybe make you guys laugh and enjoy me running at various speeds into the ocean.
Sure.
Maybe with my clothes on, maybe with a bathing suit on, maybe with a wetsuit on. I don't know.
With your clothes off?
No, that's not happening. No.
Maybe we do like a good slow-mo.
That'd be for $1 million a month. We'll do some slow-mo.
A penny less.
We'll do some fun things so that it's a little bit different every month, but kind of fun. So check it out on patreon.com/havesuchagoodday.
So that is our newest tier, as we mentioned earlier in the show. If you go to patreon.com/havesuchagoodday, you'll see our tiers kind of down the right rail of the page. We also have monetary goals on the left side of the page. All we really want for first of all, we hope you're having a great time and having a better day because you're hanging out with us. $1 per month, which currently, because we're doing one show per week, is 25 cents per show.
Yep.
1/4 per show gives you the video version totally free.
Yep.
We are
it's a pretty good deal.
Very, we've already had a couple of folks saying, well, for various reasons, I'm not able to be a patron. I really want to see the video version. So we would be open to discussing how that might be offered, maybe a week later to folks on YouTube. Maybe the patrons say, no, this is for us. We want to know how you feel about it.
Yeah.
So
let us know.
Yeah, because this is an evolution and you're 100% part of this process.
Email us what you're thinking. hi@havesuchagoodday.com.
Indeed. And let us know what you would like Heather to wear when she jumps into the Pacific Ocean next.
We're going to do some polls. We got some polls coming up.
I mean, Heather's such a daredevil that in a way, because I live so close to the Venice Pier, I'm like, have her jump off the pier.
I would.
No. That's
way too high.
That's very dangerous. I know people do it. I've seen someone
How
do
high
it,
is it?
and then like an ambulance had to come, and it was a whole thing.
Like you'd really hit the water.
I
hard.
think you'd probably be okay, but it's
probably that would be a higher tier. I think we'd have to. She could die.
Can't promise it, and it's also like a decent swim back to shore. So that's something else to consider. Like,
I'm pretty
let's not-
athletic,
let's
but
not
I'm
have
not
you-
a great. Like I can
not
swim.
have you
I can do
drown.
all the different strokes, but I am not the strongest swimmer.
Maybe get a ride back on one of the sea lions that hang out at the
Yeah.
pier.
I like that.
Yeah.
If they would let me.
They're pretty
If they would
cute.
have me.
All right. Well, Heather, I'm very excited about Heather's new tier. By the way,
I'm excited and scared.
If you go to our Patreon, patreon.com/have such a good day, and think, well, what's the tier? I want that tier. Just look for Heather versus the Sea.
That's what it's called.
It's one of our higher tiers by design because you understand what Heather
I'm going to have to go through a lot
has decided
to fulfill
decided
this.
for the sake of our own amusement and joy.
So it'll be a video. You will get a video every month.
Hypothermia, but
Perhaps, because we're doing this rain or shine, summer,
that's
winter.
Right. Thankfully, we're in Los Angeles and it's summer, so you're probably not going to die of hypothermia until the winter. So we've got some time. We'll have some fun before it gets real weird for Heather. But,
Oh, boy.
But yeah, in a nutshell, thanks to everybody who
Thank you so
supports
much.
us, and we are kind of going to put a fork in this one because I think we're
it's
done.
time to wrap it up.
I think it is too. Wherever you are, whenever you are, have such a good day. We certainly hope that this helped you do so. And for our $5
Yes.
per month and more patrons, hang tight because your bonus topic is coming up next.
The show is going to be rolling a little longer for you.
That's correct.
I'm Heather.
I'm Sarah.
Have such a good day.
See you next time.